Shall we continue in our praise and worship with God's own language, Ivrit?
Amen.
With prayers that have been sung from the beginning of Moshe's day, anyway.
Yeah. Probably before that.
Starting with Matovu. Matovu
Alotkha
Haleka
Yaakov, Messianic Israel, Va'ani Barov Chazdecha, Avo Beitecha, Eshtakav El Hekol Kachika, Behaalotekha, Adonai Ahavti Me'om Beitecha, Umkom, Mishkan Kavodecha, Va'ani Eshtakav V'yekra, Evrecha, Lifnei Adonai Osi, Va'ani Tefilati V'kadonai, Et Ratzon, Elohim Barok Kazdeka, Aneni Be'emet Yisheka, Aneni Be'emet Yisheka.
Shall we face towards the temple in Jerusalem for the Shema? Baruch et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod, Malkuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Amen. Hear, O Israel, Yahweh, our God, Yahweh is one. Blessed be his glorious name. His kingdom is forever and ever.
Amen.
Amen.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך ושינתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשירתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ושכבך וקומך וקשרתם ליוד על ידיך והיו טוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
Amen.
You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your heart. And these words which I command you this day shall be in your heart.
You shall teach them diligently to your children, speaking of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, when you lie down, and when you rise up.
And you shall bind them as a sign upon your hand, and they shall be for frontlets between your eyes. And you shall write them upon the doorposts of your house
and upon your gates.
Amen.
Yeah, Mika Mocha, please. Mika Mocha Bailim Adonai, Mika Mocha Nedar Bakodesh, Nora Tehila Tosefele, Nora Tehila Tosefele. Who is like you, O Lord, among the gods? Who is like you, glorified in holiness? You are awesome in praise, working wonders, O Lord. Who is like you, O Lord? And that word Nora is so awesome, doesn't even describe it. It's like thunder and lightning across the universe.
Frighteningly so.
Wow.
Nora, he is so awesome. You are awesome, Lord.
Yeah.
Keep them coming. Read Scottish. Okay. Yitkadav, Yitkadash, Shemel Rabbi.
Amen.
Alma divrachute, V'hamlik machute, V'chaye kon of Yomechon, Uv'chaye tikol Beit Yisrael, Bagala, Bagala, Uvizman Kariva, V'maru.
Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba Mavorach, Leolam Gol Me'omaya Yitbarach.
Yitbarach, V'yishtabach. V'yitpar v'yitroman v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitale v'yithalal, Shemei Kudusha B'richu. Leila min kol berkata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'maru.
Amen.
Oh, say shalom b'mromav, Uyaseh shalom aleinu,
Ve'al kol Yisrael, V'maru. Amen. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, Shalom aleinu, Ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, Shalom aleinu, Ve'al kol Yisrael.
Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, Shalom aleinu, Ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, Shalom aleinu, Ve'al kol Yisrael. Amen. Magnified and sanctified be the name of God throughout the world, which he has created according to his will. May he establish his kingdom during the days of your life and during the life of all of the house of Israel speedily, yes, soon, and say, Amen. May his great name be blessed forever and ever, blessed and praised, glorified, exalted and extolled, honored and magnified and lauded be the name of the Holy One. Blessed be he, whose glory transcends, yes, is beyond all blessings and hymns and praises and consolations that men can offer unto him, and say, Amen. May you establish his peace in the heavens, grant peace to us and to all Israel, and say, Amen.
Amen.
We're
should
right
be
in time for the Torah service.
Yeah.
We're right on top of it. High noon is Torah service time. So without further ado,
Ma'ariv.
we can-
Ma'arim is the hour. Ma'ariv. Time for the Arif prayers.
well, let's have lunch first.
Oh, we'll have lunch after the Ma'ariv prayers.
If you want to do Ma'ariv, we'll do Ma'ariv.
Well,
That's the other side of the list.
yeah. Well, let's do this side, but I'm just saying the hour is noon. That switches over to afternoon. Erev.
So are you guys going to do the processional?
Like we usually do.
Yeah. Okay, those that are going to do the processional, please do the processional.
Do the honors. Oi.
Vayehi ben Aharon, Vayomer Moshe,
Kuma
Adonai, Vayafutsu Oyeveka, Vayanusu Misanecha Mipanecha, Ki Mitzion Tetzei Torah, Ki Mitzion Tetzei Torah, Udavar Adonai, Yerushalayim, Baruch Shenatan Torah, Torah, Baruch Shenatan Torah, Torah, Le'amo Yisrael, B'kedusha Torah. Shema Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adoneinu, Kadosh Shemo, Gadlul Adonai iti, Unirom Shemo Yachdav. Leka Adonai Hagidula, V'Hagivura, V'Hatiferet, V'Hanetzach, V'Hahod, Kiko Bashamayim Uvaretz, Kiko Bashamayim Uvaretz. Leka Adonai Hamamlaka, V'Hamitnaseh L'Kol Erosh, Roramu Adonai Eloheinu, V'Hishtakavu Lehadom Raglav Kadoshu, Roramu Adonai Eloheinu, V'Hishtakavu Lehar Kadsho, Ki Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai El Rachum V'Chanu, Erech Apayim, V'Rav Chesed V'Emet, Noser Chesed La'am La'avim, Noser Avam B'Fesha V'Chata V'Nakeh.
Amen.
And now this morning we are reading from the book of Numbers, chapter 8. The name of the Parsha is Behaalotekha. That means in your setting up, in the setting up of yours. I had an idea where this was, but I don't see it right off. Yeah, we'll do it after I find it. It's about like this. It's a paragraph, and the second line, the first word is Behaalotekha. Not that short.
You want to go a little further?
Yeah. No, we're already way into it. Because it's doing in day it's doing the biyoms over here already, so it's already into the parsha, so it's got to be back that way. So, okay, she's got that camera ready.
Well, there's the beginning of the.
Oh, so yeah, this. Okay, so the biomes were in the last parsha from last week. That's what it is. Okay, yeah, let's keep going past this. There's Kesef, and Behaalotekha, right there. Yes, that's it right there.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Ya'amoda simcha batzara la Torah.
I like your name, Simcha.
Simcha.
Are we ready?
Mm-hmm.
Barku et Adonai Ambura.
Baruch Adonai Habarak Le'olam Vayed.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bekarbanu mikol ha'amim v'tanatan lanu et Torato.
Baruch atah Adonai Noten HaTorah. Amen.
Wow.
Good job.
Hold on to the mic, you're going to need it again. So again, we're doing Numbers chapter 8, starting at verse 1. Listen for the word Behaalotekha, which again means in the setting up of yours. I'll just
hold it.
okay. Well, it's kind of missing the top line. There you go.
Now it's way too far.
I'm doing that very paragraph, the whole thing. וידבר יהוה אל משה לאמור, דבר אל אהרון, ואמרת אליו, בהעלותך את הנרות, אל מול פני המנורה, יאירו שביעת הנרות, ויעש כן אהרון, אל מול פני המנורה, העלה נרותיה, כאשר ציווה יהוה את משה. וזה מעשה המנורה, מקשה זהב, עד ירקה, עד פרקה, מקשה היא כמראה. כמראה, אשר הראה יהוה את משה, כן עשה את המנורה.
Amen.
Did anyone recognize the leading word in there?
Yeah, it's right up there on about
Menorah.
the beginning of the second line.
Well, yeah, Behaalotekha, but I'm talking. Did you hear the word menorah in there?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Several times. It's there, and I'm going to use that Hebrew word because everyone knows what it means, right? We all know what a menorah is. Okay. And he spoke Yahweh to Moshe to say, "Speak you to Aharon, Aaron, and you say to him in his setting up of the lamps to the mule is
To
forward.
the forward, yeah.
So to the front, to the face, or beside the face of the menorah, he shall set up 7 of the lamps. And he did so, Aharon, to the face of the menorah. He set up the lamps as which instructed Yahweh to Moshe. And this, the handiwork of the menorah, 1 piece gold unto the stem until the bud, 1 piece is she, as which he showed, as which was shown Yahweh to Moshe, so he did with the menorah. Amen.
Amen.
And the final blessing?
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'kaye olam natu betukenu.
Baruch atah Adonai
noten
HaTorah.
Amen.
Yes, very good job. Very good job.
Well done.
Good job. Yes, you
Yeah.
did. Yes, you did.
I'm coming.
He's on the way. Only we had more time.
Can't do this alone. We got to do it together, Rabbi.
Okay.
You're supposed to be
Which hand do you want me to take?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
I can shove it to you, but
I got it here.
okay.
Okay.
There we go. Just change sides here. There you go.
Vezot HaTorah Asher Sam Moshe Lifnei B'nai Yisrael Al Pi Adonai
Beyond Moshe.
This is the Torah which was placed by Moshe before the children of Israel from the mouth of Adonai in the hand of Moshe.
Amen. Baruch Hashem. I'm not over there where I can see it. Oh, there it is.
I'm not able.
There we are. Can you get in?
You have to do it.
Oh, I have to do it. That's right. You're right.
Es Chaim hi lemakazikim ba v'tomekea meushar derakea darkeinu am v'kol nativotea shalom hashivenu Adonai Elecha v'nashuva Kadesh Kadesh Yameinu Kadesh Yameinu It is a tree of life to those who take hold of it, and those who support it are praiseworthy. Its ways are ways of pleasantness, and all its paths are peace. bring us back, Adonai, to you. Well, we tried.
Now let's do it just in Hebrew. Ready? Go back to it.
Well, we did it in Hebrew.
Okay. Well, I wanted to do it right in Hebrew, right in English.
Oh, it is a tree of life to those who take hold of it, and those who support it are praiseworthy.
Its
ways
are
are ways of pleasantness, and all its paths are peace. Bring us back, Lord, to you, and we shall come.
Renew our days as of old. Amen.
See, some things are better in Hebrew. to sing.
Yeah. The melody matches in Hebrew.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to have our Torah teaching this morning. I'd like to encourage those who are here to hear it, come on in and join us.
Encourage those that are here to be here.
Yeah, plug in your brains. Let's see. You want to join me up here?
I can join you here. I can join you there. I can.
Here,
join
there, or in the air,
in
right?
the air.
Here, over there.
Over here, over there, we will read the Torah here. And then we will live it together.
Yeah. Go ahead. You're looking good up there.
I'm tired up here. That's what I am. That was a good piece of work this morning, and then the singing and the music, and I'm getting worn out already from all of that. But we'll see what God has. Amen.
Amen.
Father, we ask you to teach us your word today as we study. In the name of Yeshua.
Amen.
And I'll get rid of some of these open Bibles and focus on the interlinear. Numbers 4 and verse. Is it chapter 8?
Yes.
Okay, so it's in the wrong chapter.
I thought it was really intriguing that the menorah should be made according to the vision that Yahweh showed Moses. So it had to be up there on the mountain
Right.
when he was giving him the Torah. He put it in his mind, planted it in his brain. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I got a good size to work with here. And if you guys can't read it on the screen up there, you need to let me know so I can enlarge it for you.
Okay.
That look all right?
Yeah.
Okay. And it says, and he worded, Yahweh worded, to Moses to say, word to Aaron and say unto him, when you light Behaalotekha, when you light the nerot, the candles of the lamps, over against the face of the candlesticks, Yairu, they shall give light 7 lamps. So there are 7 lamps total to give light in that area where the menorah sits. And then it says Ya'as, and that means and he did, kin, so Aaron and El Mul over against the face of the candlesticks, menorah, Ha'elah, and he lighted. And that's the
Same root.
Olah, which is the root to go up. So he lit the flames to go up of the nerot, of her lamps. Ki asher tiva, just as commanded Yahweh to Moses. V'zeh ha'esah, this is, ma'asah means this is the work of ha-menorah, the candlestick. Miksha, which is beaten zahav, gold. So we have gold, one big unto the shaft thereof. So it's like one piece of work.
Can we click on the mikshah and see what
Beaten,
what it goes into? Rounded, molded by hammering.
rounded or hammered, molded by hammer.
One piece is the translation that I.
Beaten out of one piece,
Gave it.
yeah.
That's a big piece of gold.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. Have you ever been over to Israel recently?
In my mind.
Have you been? You haven't been there on tour or anything like that? They have a menorah that's ready to go into the temple as soon as it's built,
Yay. It's ready.
and it stands probably, I'm gonna guess, close to 6 feet tall, and it's probably 4 or 5 feet across with the menorah branches all set up and separated. And
Solid gold.
solid gold. Mm. Wow. They're not sparing any expense on putting this back together the way it was supposed to be. And the rakha, that's the shaft, unto the pircha, and that's the flowers. So from the shaft into the flowers, it's all beaten work, miksha, ki mareh, according to the revelation, which Yahweh had showed unto Moses, so he made the candlestick. And then he says, and Yahweh worded to Moses, saying, Kach et halivim, take the Levites, mitok, from the midst, Bnei Israel, the children of Israel, v'tiharta, and cleanse them, otam. So he's going to do something special with the Levites. And thus you shall do unto them to cleanse and sprinkle them upon the water, purifying them. Yes, sir?
And what purification water would that be? That would be the water with the ashes from the red cow.
Mm-hmm. Sure. So he's purifying them, and it says, let them shave all of their flesh. All of their flesh. And we talked about that Tuesday night, how that
Even their eyebrows, yeah.
yeah, even the hair on your toesies.
Toes.
All over your body.
From your
that
head
had
to your
be-
toe.
Yeah, they'd end up looking
Here we
something
go
like
again.
something like Les did here when he was here.
Oh,
I don't know if you noticed or not, but he doesn't have any hair at all that we can see anywhere on his body. You know, of course he hadn't undressed for us, so we don't know. But there's no eyebrows, there's no mustache, there's no hairs on his face. Period. Not one hair on his face or his head. That's the way the Levites are supposed to look when they get through with them.
wow.
And so, and let them wash their big dehim, their plural, their clothes, v'hitaru, and make themselves clean. So the process of getting them clean is established by Yahweh, and he's very careful in the way he worded things. And in verse 8 it says, L'kachu, let them take, the par, the bullock. That's a yearling probably. That's a young bullock, bin bakar, and minchato, with its minha, meat offering, solet, which is very finely ground flour from the grains of the crop that they take this from. Yes, sir.
Well, a mincha offering is a meatless offering, so that's
Yes.
kind of a misnomer there, saying a meat offering. Because
Well, that's just early King James.
yeah, that's right. In early English, meat was food.
Right. So
Any
it's
type
not
of
going to have any animal flesh at all in it.
Right.
And then the solet means fine flour. It's so fine that it's like dust. And when it's solet, it's been processed through 13 sieves.
Wow.
And it's like you can't get it any finer than that. And then it's going to be mingled with oil and another bullock, the second bullock, bin bakir, a young bull from the herds. Tikak, you shall take lachatat for a sin offering. And a sin offering is an elevation offering that has special function that it does. And the flesh of it is supposed to be eaten by either the priesthood or by the high priest himself. It's specially dedicated. Verse 9. And it says, Vahikravta, and you shall bring. The ta on the end is first person masculine. So you shall bring et halivim, you shall bring the Levites, lifnei ohel, before the tabernacle moed of the appointments, v'hik haktal, v'hik halta, and you shall gather together et kol edat b'nai Israel, all of the assembly of the children of Israel. And they're going to be doing something special with them. You shall bring the Levites before Yahweh and shall put the children of Israel their hands upon the Levites. So all the children of Israel gather around, they put their hands on the Levites. If they can't get close enough, put their hands on the Levites, and they put their hands on the one that's in front of them, and so on, until everybody's got their hands essentially extended out to the Levites who are going to be dedicated. And then in verse 11, the hinaf, and they shall offer, and Aaron is the one who's going to offer, et halivim, the Levites, an offering before Yahweh. And this is what they call a wave offering.
Yes.
A wave offering, for example, if we have the shock of wheat, then that's going to be waved by the Levites before Yahweh, overhead, underhead, north, south, east, west, overhead, and underhead. Mm-hmm. So they don't do that with people, okay? When you've got people there, you can't take all the people and hold them up and wave them before you bang their heads on the floor or who knows what. But what you do is spiritually you're offering them as a wave offering, so that they are waved before Yahweh on behalf of those who have provided the grain.
Okay.
Here it's waved on behalf of Israel, who has provided the Levites to Yahweh to be the assistants or workers with the priesthood in the temple. And so the children of Israel, the ones who are doing the offering, that they may execute the service of Yahweh. And the Levim, the Levites, Simchu, they shall lay on their hands upon the heads of the bullocks, the sacrifices, and you shall make the one a sin offering and the other a burnt offering unto Yahweh. So there is a difference, but the difference is not in whether it's completely consumed by fire or not, but it's whether it's accepted by God as these offerings. It's going to make an atonement for all the Levites. And then we have, you shall set the Levites before Aaron and before his sons and offer them a burnt offering unto Yahweh. Actually, it doesn't say burnt offering, it says just an offering unto Yahweh. 14, then they would all be dead in ashes, so that wouldn't work. The hivdalta, and you will separate. And badal here is the word to separate. We have the same word used
Mavdil.
Mavdil in the same root used in Genesis chapter 1 as he's divided the waters above from the waters below. Mm-hmm. And that's called the Mavdil. He divided Mavdil. And what's doing the dividing is the rakia. He created the rakia to divide the waters above from the waters below.
Okay.
So the part that's doing the dividing is rakia. So anyway, he separates the Levites from among the children of Israel, and they shall be mine. The Levites shall be mine, he says. Now, God is in the separation business, and a lot of people don't believe that. They think God is not a judge of. He doesn't distinguish between one man and another. But I got news for you. He divided the Levites out for their purposes. And it's because his choosing. He chose to do it.
Yeah.
And it's for his service in his temple with his Levites, his priesthood, and all for the children of Israel who have been separated out from the world. So everything has been separated. And the two sin offering and law offering are both have been separated out from the rest of the herds for the purpose of making a sin sacrifice and an law offering for the Levites. Verse 16. Key here would mean because, to name holy, natanim, and that's the word to give, natah. Natan lanu et torato.
Nitunim.
So the nitunim means to be given totally.
Presented.
Mm-hmm. And Hema as to me, mitok from the midst of the children of Israel. Tachat instead of, in place of, the things that open the womb. What would open the womb would be the male children and the male animals and the various other things that are special, dedicated to God as the Birkat Hazon. Birkat, huh? Well, I was getting another word mixed up, excuse me. But it's the first fruits. Rishon. And instead of such open the wombs. So they are going to be replacing all of the men of Israel who have broken the womb, who've broken the matrix. And they would have been gods, but God is accepting the Levites instead. And then even further. A substitute. The firstborn of the children of Israel, I have taken them unto me. And then in verse 17, for mine, for they are all mine, the first Bikor, that's the word I was trying to remember, Bikorim, B'nai Israel, the firstborn of the children of Israel, Be'adam, from the man and beast, on the Yom, that I smote every firstborn in the land of Egypt, I sanctified them for myself. So as he struck the firstborn of Egypt, he was then choosing for himself the firstborn of Israel to be his people. Makes you wonder what Egypt was before, doesn't it? Ever think of that? They must have been, the firstborn of Egypt was supposed to be holy to Yahweh, and they weren't. And so God took them anyway, and then chose Israel to be their replacement. So I've given them, the Levites, as a gift to Aaron and to his sons from the midst of the children of Israel, la'avod, to do the service or work of the avodot, the service of the children of Israel, be'ohel moed, from the tent of the appointments. So Israel is the one who was doing the work of the service of the tabernacle of the congregation, but now they were the ones that are supposed to be doing it. He called them a nation of priests. Yes. And so here God has taken Aaron's family and the Levites to be their assistants to help them with doing the work of the congregation. And who are they going to do this work for? Well, for Israel, but they're also going to be doing it for the nations around them, because God commanded them to take the bullocks and things for the 70 nations. 70 bullocks they took during the Feast of Tabernacles to offer on behalf of the world around them. And so to me it says that God wanted Egypt to be his servants, to be those who are actually intervening on the people's behalf, and God chose the Levites to replace them because they weren't doing what they were supposed to be doing. They were worshiping all the other gods. So
he chose Israel.
He chose Israel to replace them. Yeah. Have I got a coffee cup up there somewhere? Oh, it's right there. Anyway, so the children of Israel were to do the service and the work of the tabernacle of the appointments, to make an atonement for the children of Israel, so that there not be any where did I leave it? So there be no plague among the children of Israel. A plague, not guff. Begeshet, which comes near B'nai Israel into the holy, the sanctuary. Okay. Moses and Aaron did all the congregation of Israel to the Levites according to the command of Yahweh. And I'm going to switch over to English here because it's just faster going, and we only have got 20 minutes left here. So this is what Moses and Aaron, all the community of Israel, did unto the Levim. The people of Israel acted in accordance with everything that Adonai had ordered Moses in regard to the Levim. If anybody's got a question or anything while we're going, just feel free to pop your hand up there and I'll see if we can answer you, okay? After the Levim came to their service in the tent of the meeting in front of Aaron and his sons, they acted in accordance with Adonai's instructions to Moses in regard of the Levim. Yahweh said to Moses, here's the instructions concerning the Levim. When they reach the age of 25, they are to begin performing their duties, serving in the tent of the meeting. And when they reach age of 50, I don't know what I'm touching, but it's moving my cursor all around. When they get to the age of 50, they're to stop performing the work and not serve any longer. That does not mean they don't work alongside those who are, but they will not be doing the actual work itself. What does this tell us concerning the time in which the Levites retire? What's tomorrow retirement age for a Levi?
50 years old.
Uh-huh.
But they had an apprenticeship too. The ones working alongside.
So why do you think God would take Levites of the age of 50 and give them, I guess you could almost say, forced retirement? Anybody?
Well, that's a lot of hard work from 20 to...
What happens to a man when he reaches the age of 50?
He turns old.
He starts getting older and his brain starts not holding everything that it used to hold. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I rebuke those
rebuke it
words.
too.
But God does not expect us to continue in the full work of the service in the tabernacle. After 50 years of age, we're supposed to slow down, and then we can be used by the Levites to help train new priests as they're coming into the order. Does that make sense? Yes. So that would apply to the priests also, who are, additionally, they are Levites. They are from the tribe of Levi. So that's what you're supposed to do with them. Chapter 9. Did you have a comment or question?
Well, it was hard work for the Levites and those,
Oh, yeah.
carrying all everything.
I don't know where it is.
So that was a good time. God was like, oh yeah, that's, well, I mean, there was, I don't think it's working.
Is it working?
Yep.
Well, I mean, there was so much work that the Levites had to do with the tent, taking it down and then putting it up and carrying it, carrying so much. So God knew they were only going to be able to handle
Right.
so much in so many years. Yeah, the physical work, required.
And they had the flocks too, so.
Yeah.
So what do you think God chose from 25 and upward, when I know a lot of 16-year-olds that they're pretty strong? So why would God choose them from 25 and upward?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, respect. They're more respectful. And,
Right. And they,
taking orders.
the brain hasn't had enough experience to have the kind of maturity and wisdom that they needed to operate in the temple. So it has to do with the age of a person and the mindset that they're in. You know, if you make a mistake doing the service of God in the temple, you could die. I mean, look at Nadab and Abihu. I mean, they died because they didn't get it in order right. And if they were 50 years old or older, then their brains might not have been cooking in all cylinders, and it would be a problem for them. And they could end up dying just like Nadab and Abihu did. So God was trying to select people whose brains are optimally suited to work in the temple and to get everything in order the way it's supposed to be, according to God's plan and not man's plan. So the biggest issue with Nadab and Abihu was that they were immature. That they said, look what we can do, let's do it again. You know, and bam, the lightning hit and they were grease spots on the floor. That surprised you? Well, that's what happened. So Moses told the people of Israel to observe Pesach. So they observed Pesach at dusk. And that word at dusk is an error. It's a translation error. It should be between evenings on the 14th day of the month in Sinai Desert. In the Hebrew, it actually literally says Bain Erovim, and that means between evenings. And so there is an optimal time between evenings that they slaughtered the lambs, and that was around 3 o'clock in the afternoon of the first day of the Pesach adventure.
Between evenings.
That is between the evenings. And then it says between the evenings on the 14th day of the month in the Sinai Desert. Now the 14th day of the month would be actually after the beginning evening of it, but not at the ending evening of it. So it's going to happen sometime during sunrise and sunset on the 14th day. So Moses told the people of Israel to observe Pesach. So they observed Pesach at dusk between evenings on the 14th day of the month in Sinai Desert. The people of Israel acted in accordance with all that Yahweh had ordered Moses. Wow, that's a mouthful. Yes, sir?
Commentary says that this is the only time that they celebrated Pesach while they were in the wilderness. Do you concur with that?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
Supposedly they didn't do it again until they entered the land.
Do they give references in the Talmud?
Let's see, where was that? Rashi, citing the sages, notes that this was the only Pesach offering that Israel brought throughout the 40 years in the wilderness. Okay. I don't know.
Well, I guess we have to take their word for it, but I don't know that I necessarily agree with it.
Okay. That's why I asked.
The instructions, I believe, is that they're supposed to be done once a year on the first month.
Every year.
And so something is not quite ringing true to me with it.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
So they came before Moses and Aaron that day, and they said to him, here were some unclean people. Let's start off in verse 9. Verse whatever that is, 6. I can't see it without my glasses on. But there are certain people who had become unclean because of someone's corpse. Somebody died, okay? Huh? Oh, yeah, I know, but I didn't want to have to bother with them. So they could not observe Pesach on that day. So they came before Moses and Aaron on that day and said to him, we are unclean because of someone died. But why must we keep from bringing the offering for Yahweh at the same designated for the people of Israel? Moses answered them, wait, so that I can hear what Yahweh will order concerning you. And Adonai said to Moses, tell the people of Israel, if any of you now or in the future generations is unclean because of a corpse, or if he is on a trip abroad, nevertheless he is to observe Pesach, but he will observe it in the second month, on the 14th day at dusk, and they are to eat it with matzah and maror. They are to leave none of it until morning. They are not to break any of its bones, and they are to observe it according to all the regulations of Pesach. So they were to keep it anyway, except that there would come a second Pesach. They're to observe it according to all the regulations. So the second month, 14th day of the month, there will be a second Passover for those who were either journeying or are unclean or whatever. And does that mean that if they had been in battle and got wounded, that they would be able to come the second time only if their wound had healed? Okay? Because there's all kinds of little twists and turns that you have to observe. Yeah, variables. Yes, sir?
That seems awfully close to Lag Bomer.
Yeah.
A month apart. I wonder if that has any connotations there.
I wouldn't know. No. Couldn't tell you.
It's the second month, 33rd day of Pesach. So
Just keep in mind that the things that you learn about from the Mishnah and the Talmud may or may not be exactly on cue with your thinking.
yeah.
And the reason is because they had to consider so many things in that day, and you don't know what those things were because they don't tell us in the Mishnah or in the Talmud what was going on. Now, there are some things that tell us what was going on. For example, Hillel was apparently of the priesthood, and he was the one who did the judgment of making holy the time for the calendars and their appointments. So why did they do that? Well, because they needed to have the priest's approval for the time that was selected. So they would hold a court, and they would have 2 witnesses from each area that had had an observation of the moon come forth to Jerusalem, and from there they would go before the council, and the council would ask some questions to try to eliminate anybody who's faking it. And then the reason for all that is because the Gentiles were trying so hard to mess up our festivals. And so the signal hills where they would light the fires to say it's the actual first of the month, they would go out a day or two ahead and light fires, and a day or two late and light fires, and then nobody knew what day was really the sanctified approved date. And so during the days of Hillel, the head of the Talmudic council, I guess you could call it, it was the school at Yemna, that they were writing all this down and getting everything solidified and organized in the current form of the Talmud. They decided to go ahead and let the days be picked instead of by observation, that it would be set by calculation, and that way they could put the dates out for everybody to be in harmony and unity and one accord, and be able to keep the intention of what God's word was, that they would really be on the date that God chose for the days to happen. And so they knew the calculated dates were very close. And so they chose for the calculated dates instead of viewing the new moons, which are hard to see anyway. Have you ever tried to look for the new moon? Yeah, it's often, most of the time, you really can't see it.
Little tiny sliver.
It's gotta be a really clear night.
Mm-hmm. And so if you can't see it, you can't count it. But by calculation, they eliminated all the confusion that was being generated by the Goyim, the Gentiles around. And so the Pesach was to be observed according to God's instructions, and that the priests were to oversee it to make sure it was done at the right time. And that's the way it's always been done. And so when somebody comes up and says, well, we need a Sanhedrin so we can have more accurate observance when people actually observe the new moons and so on, and get the harvest right and the barley harvest right and all that. Well, you can't do that until the temple is built and until we have an altar, till we have a high priest who can actually be the one who makes kosher the Sanhedrin. The Sanhedrin isn't even kosher until we have a high priest, okay? Because the high priest is the one who actually does the sanctifying of time. So, I know there are people who are trying to say otherwise, but don't you listen to them.
Chapter 7, Just got
I don't know. I don't want to go over there right now.
become
Yeah.
high priest.
Yeah, but still, we can't really change anything until he's back physically here to sanctify the Sanhedrin. On the day the tabernacle was put up, the cloud over the tabernacle, that is the tent of the it says testimony, but it should be the tent of the appointments. And in the evening over the tabernacle was what appeared to be fire, which remained until morning. So the cloud always covered it, and it looked like a fire at night. And whenever the cloud was taken up from the tent, the people of Israel continued their travels. They camped wherever the cloud stopped, and the order of Yahweh was behind it all. It says in verse 19, even when the cloud remained on the tabernacle for a long time, the people of Israel did what Yahweh had charged them to do and did not travel. Sometimes the cloud was a few days over the tabernacle, according to Adonai's order, and they remained in the camp, and according to Adonai's order, they traveled. Sometimes the cloud was there only from evening until morning, so they traveled. At Adonai's order, they traveled. They camped, and at Adonai's order, they traveled. At Adonai's order, they camped. My tongue is so dry, I'm about to feel like I've been eating dust or something. Yeah.
Or have some wine.
Yeah, something.
I'd like to interject.
Please do. You got the mic?
Yeah. If you go into chapter 10, yeah, you're right there at chapter 10. If you go down to verse 10, it says, on the day of your gladness and on your festivals and on your new moons. So it sounds like it's also including Shabbat. You shall sound the trumpets.
Mm-hmm.
So us blowing shofars here during service is perfectly within.
Except we don't have a silver trumpet.
Well, it doesn't say silver trumpet. You said
No,
sound the trumpet.
it doesn't, but they did include silver trumpets in previous verses, okay?
Yes.
So when they sounded 2 silver trumpets, what's that mean? It's announcing to the entire nation that this is one of the Moedim. And they have to come to the tabernacle. What if it was just one trumpet?
A calling of the gathering? To gather?
It would be the leaders only. So the elders of Israel would come together. Those who were heads of tribes would come together and meet Moses and Aaron up at the tabernacle. Okay?
Is that what this is referring to?
Some of it, yeah.
Okay.
So in verses 11 and on, it's talking about the cloud went up from off the tabernacle of the testimony, and the people of Israel moved out in stages from the Sinai desert, and the cloud stopped in the Paran desert. So they set on their first journey in keeping so they've been here a year and 2 months or 3, and so they set out their first journey to keep with Yahweh's order through Moshe. In the lead was the banner of the camp of descendants of Yehuda. What is the Yehuda? Yahoo! Praise. Okay? So then the Judah would go out first, and the companies moved forward over these companies, as was Nachshon, the son of Aminadab. And over the company of the tribe of descendants of Issachar was Nathaniel, son of Tzuar. Over the company of the descendants of Zebulun was Elav, the son of Helon. And the tabernacle was taken down, and the descendants of Gershon and the descendants of Merari set out carrying the tabernacle. And we know how that all went because we studied it last week's Torah Parashat, told us about it. And then in verse 18, next the banner of the camp of Reuben moved forward. So it's nice, it's kind of interesting to see how all of these things were done in their companies. We know where they were camped because in the previous parsha it tells us which section of the camp everyone was camped in. And so we can kind of visualize this as they were heading out. Even though it says Judah went out first, they really they were depending upon the Levites coming up behind them as backup, because the Levites were the warriors. They were actually able to do some pretty amazing fighting, and they had Yahweh with them. And so,
You mean the Yehudites?
the Levites. The Yehudites were also warriors, but the closest one to the tabernacle, going on that front end of that journey, is the Levites. Okay, and from there, then I think it was Gershon went first, and so he would have gone out right behind Yehuda. The families that went out with Yehuda, they would be right behind them. So anyway, it's just interesting to see all that happens, and that the Levites are going to be having the hardest. They are focused on making sure that the tabernacle and the implements of the tabernacle are protected. So they're probably going to be the best of the fighters, like the special forces in the military or something. So it goes through and gives all the, when the tabernacle was taken down, the descendants of Gershon and the descendants of Merari set out carrying the tabernacle, and so on. And they carried them in just the right order so that the Gershonites and the Meraris could set up the tabernacle and have it all ready for the next batch of things that are being carried by Levites to come through, and the tabernacle is already set up and ready for them, so that they don't have to stand around and wait. Then the other tribes come up behind them, and then the next tribe of Levites come in, and they've got more things that they're setting up and implementing inside the area there. And so it's a very well-structured, thought-out order that they leave and break camp in. Well, it looks like we're out of time. Let me see if there's anything else key or that I need to tell you. Oh, the quail. My Lord, God can hunt.
And Miriam complained against Moshe. And
Exactly.
Sarah.
Chapter 11.
I had 10 homers in my Bible. That's right.
Yeah.
I had 10 homers.
Homers or homers?
10 homers.
Home runs?
Yeah. The Lord was kindled against the people, and the Lord went.
Yeah, he got upset with him, didn't he? So the people were complaining in chapter 11. They wanted something besides his manna, the man, to eat out in the wilderness. Oh no, manna in the morning, manna in the evening, manna at supper time. Anyway, so they wanted some flesh to eat. And so God changed the direction of the wind, and in came a gazillion quail. And it says they piled up 3 feet thick. And the people picked up quail and loaded them, piled them up into piles all over the place. And they ate quail for, 2 weeks or 3, a whole month afterwards. And they got sick of quail. Lord, can we please have some more manna? This is a lot of quail, Lord.
According to Moshe, it was coming out their nostrils. They were sick of it.
That's where that saying came from. You're going to eat till it comes out of your nose.
So anyway, that was pretty cool. And they said, but we miss all the garlic and leeks and onions by the Nile. All the big, yeah. And you've heard of the Nile nest monster? No. I'm just joking.
And they said it cost us nothing.
Yeah, we didn't have to pay for anything.
It's free.
We used to eat in Egypt. It cost us nothing right there.
I have a comment.
Okay.
They were complaining, but they two of the tribes, Gad and Reuben.
Gad and Reuben, yeah.
They had enormous flocks of sheep, goats, and cattle. So their complaints were
Well, there was a problem with using your cattle for sacrifices. What are you going to have to continue growing your flocks and herds when you get the land if you've eaten them all?
Okay.
So they wanted to have meat that they could eat that would not dip into the reserves that they had for building the families of Israel back up when they get into the land.
All right. Good answer.
It's funny how they never mention chickens.
Well, they didn't have to. God just blows the wind and quail come in so thick that you have plenty of meat to eat, you know?
Chicken too.
Or turkey.
So the manna, by the way, I call it manna because man is what it says here, and that might get confusing with the other word called man. But the man was, by the way, was like coriander seed, white like gum resin. The people would go out and gather it and would grind it up in meals or pound it to paste with a mortar and pestle, and then they would cook it in pots and make it into loaves and that taste like cakes baked with olive oil. And when the dew settled in the camp during the night, the manna came with it. So then everybody started complaining. Well, I just gave you quail so much that you're sick of it. What are you complaining about now? You know? So Miriam and Aaron, of course, you know, they behaved rather badly. They were not behaving with integrity. Then God instructed that they bring the 70 elders and to make the court, Supreme Court, if you will, of the wilderness. And God took the spirit of Moshe and put it on all of them so they could help to implement it all.
It was modeled after the heavenly court.
It says the spirit came on them and they all prophesied, but not afterwards.
And Yahweh was always in the cloud.
Yeah.
That's awesome. When I see the clouds, I remember now.
Either in the cloud or in the smoke.
Well, what happened to Eldad and Medad?
Eldad.
They started prophesying too, and they weren't in the group that went forward to have the spirit of Moses put on them.
Huh.
So somebody got upset with it and told Moses and said, "You got to stop them! You got to stop them!" They're, yeah.
Your dad.
And so Moses' response was, "I wish that all of the people of Adonai were prophets.
Yeah.
I wish Adonai would put his spirit on all of them."
Yes.
Such a great leader.
What was-
Moses and the leaders of Israel went back to the camp, huh?
I was just saying, in the text I read, it was a little bit confusing because it said that they were listed to go, but they didn't go.
Yeah. So, interesting. But
Yeah.
they didn't go.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't say why they didn't go. They just didn't go.
Yeah.
And so they may have had perfectly good reasons
Yeah.
for not going, you know?
Okay.
Miriam and Aaron began criticizing Moses because of the Egyptian wife that he had, the Ethiopian woman. And that means she was black. And so,
That was his first wife.
Yeah,
I think the Egyptians were black too.
yeah, Zipporah wasn't an Ethiopian. He must have married a woman in Egypt. We just don't know. Bible's silent, I'm silent.
The Egyptians were black too.
Mm-hmm.
Was it because of the sun and the desert and everything? They were
No.
dark skin?
No, they had pigmentation in their skin that was darker than others. So anyway, there's an interesting story here. But we come to the end of that Parsha. Next week we're going to study Parsha starting in chapter 13 of Numbers. And I wish I had a little extra time. I could go up here and get some of this Zechariah and Yochanan and Messianic Jews. But we don't, so we'll just call that good for tonight. Hope you join us next week. If you want to get more of this stuff, come on Tuesday night. Join us online. We put this online on the YouTube, and you can join us on Tuesday night and get a lot more information than we could do on just the little short time we have here on Shabbat morning. Mm-hmm. So next week, chapter 13 of Numbers. Read it. You'll be glad you did. Well, let's have our closing celebration, please.
Take it up. We don't need it anymore.
You what?
Oh, I was talking to Shane about the microphone.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. I forgot. We do need it. I forgot.
Hello. Your watch is on the floor. That must not be your Sabbath watch.
I don't have one.
Thank you.
I do, but I don't wear it all the time. Look, Yochanan. Yeah. Or as I tell my sweet wife, it's 1:30 kissing time, time to kiss again.
Oh, gosh.
Get us out of here, Lord. There's no intelligent life here. Oh, me. Yochanan, I want you to try to be ready to give the closing ceremony sometimes, okay?
Yeah. No problema.
I'm taking off my tallit.
Yeah.
Okay, it's back on.
All right. So this is the Sabbath prayer. We do this every Shabbat, and it is such a delight to impart this blessing to both young and old. And so I commission parents to bless your children with this prayer.
Amen. Hallelujah. Come on up.
First time we've been able to come up here in a while.
You have covered.
I don't have music. I need music unmuted.
May the Lord protect and defend you. May He always shield you from shame. May you come to be in His trial a shining name. May you be like Ruth and like David. May you be deserving of praise. Strengthen them, O Lord, and keep them in Messiah's ways.
May God bless you and grant you long life.
May the Lord fulfill our Sabbath prayer for you.
May God make you good husbands and
May He send you spouses who will care for you. May the Lord protect and defend you. May the Lord preserve you from pain. Favor them, O Lord, with happiness and peace. Oh, hear our Sabbath prayer. Amen. Amen.
Hallelujah.
Now we will do the blessing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pri hagafen. Amen. Oh, blessed are you, O Lord our God, King of the universe, who has created the fruit of the vine.
Amen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher ki chanig b'mitzvotav v'tivanu. All not yadayim.
Amen.
Amen.
Blessed are you, O Lord our God, King of the universe, who has sanctified us by your commandments and commanded us regarding the washing of our hands.
Amen. Bring it that way a little bit, please.
Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Blessed are you, O Lord our God, King of the universe, who brings forth bread from the earth.
Amen.
Yeah.
Do any more for Shane.
Well, that's it for today. We did the Aaronic benediction, or no? Let's do the Aaronic benediction, please. Aaronic benediction. What happened to it? Turn that music screen off because it's faded out all the.
Might want to help him. Shane.
Ooh, look, now Rabbi's floating over Jerusalem.
Go help him, please.
Hmm?
I was telling Shane to go help Brandon.
Put the slide up that's got my picture behind it.
Okay. Good.
There it is. Yevarukha Adonai v'yishmerecha. Yair Adonai panav elecha v'chunecha.
Amen.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. Amen. The Lord bless and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift his countenance upon you and give you peace.
Amen.
All right, that does it for today.
Let's remember that if you like what you're hearing from Yahweh and what you're being taught, subscribe to our channel so that so that it'll remind you when our next service will be.
And if you particularly like the service, please just click on the like button.
Yeah.
And I understand that if we get enough like buttons clicking, that there's possibly even a little bit of a blessing for us for having a lot of people watching.
Like and share.
Yes. Yeah,
So-
more engagement. Mm-hmm.
So
1,000 is a subscriber target.
it wouldn't hurt you to click the like button if you like it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and share it. Mm-hmm.
and then if you share it, then that makes it easier for us to know how many people are liking our broadcast and it's propagating and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Absolutely.
we could end up having the broadcast itself could end up being a contributor. You know, we're supposed to be able to make our living by the Word of God
Yes.
and by preaching the Word of God. So if you're out there on the internet and you don't have a place to make contributions for your tithing and your offerings, please feel free to give it here. We serve God, and we need your support if we keep going online. And we're going to probably be able to keep going online even if we don't get any contributions from you. But it would be nice to hear from you with a little bit of a blessing for having been a blessing to you. Amen? So we appreciate you joining us and hope you continue to do so. Hope you'll
Yes.
see us next week. And on Tuesday night on our special Bible study, we study the Torah Parashat for the week, and I think you'll like it.
Yes. And a
So
way
join it.
Yes, absolutely. A way to contribute is just visit our website at tzion.org and click the Contribute Here button, and that will directly take you to our contribution page.
This is still paper.
And also, please tell other people about us if you liked it, because other people we need to be coming so that they can find out about it too, just like you have. So
Yes.
just let people know that they can watch us online, and they'll probably want to come and do it too.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, that's about it from my end of things.
Alrighty.
Then shall we sing?
Shalom Havarim?
Yes.
Okay. Shalom
Shalom
Havarim, Shalom Havarim,
Shalom,
Shalom.
Lahitrayot,
Lahitrayot, Shalom. Shalom. Shalom, my friend, Shalom, my friend, Shalom. Shalom. Till we meet again, till we meet again, Shalom. Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Hey, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Hallelujah. We shall see you next time, and have a blessed week, and always rejoice in the Lord.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You did a good job.
Thank you.
I
job.
appreciate you.
I learned from the best.